Hello, and welcome to Viva La Action, the podcast where we're talking about all things action movies. My name is Santi, and with me as always is my co-host, is Grayson.
Hello, that's me.
And we talk about good, bad, and underrated action movies.
Yeah, we do.
I forgot that part.
It's okay.
Let me just crack open a cold one real quick.
We're in season 3.
Season 3, yes.
People should already know.
They should know.
That's kind of crazy that we've been doing this for 3 fucking years. I
Yes.
was thinking about it. Fucking
Uh-huh.
this April, we're going to be watching The Raiders.
Yes.
Which means that we've been doing this for 3 years.
Yes.
Which is terrifying.
Oh, no. Not Raiders.
Yep.
Last Crusade.
Or, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Last Crusade.
Yes. This will be our 3rd year.
Terrifying.
Yep. We're in season 3.
Yeah.
This is going to be episode nearly 60.
Holy
We're coming up on 60.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. We've been doing this a long time, and we've not gotten any better, which is incredible.
Which is fantastic. We're still doing it, though.
We're still doing it. Speaking of doing it, we're going to have sex on camera. Just kidding. What we do here at this show, which you're supposed to know from my little intro thing, and I didn't say it.
Yeah.
We talk about good, bad, and underrated action movies.
Yep.
So each week we pick a different film.
Yep.
We go away and we watch it. And then one of us writes a little report about it. The other one shows up on the day and helps me out.
Yeah. That's me.
Provides color commentary.
Yeah.
We're like a sports broadcasting duo.
Yeah.
You know, you got the one guy who's like there because he played the sport and he knows all kinds of stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And you got the guy who's there that just goes, touchdown!
Woo! Yeah, that's me.
That's you. Yeah. Anyway, so this week, Grayson, unfortunately we'd had it too good for too long.
Yeah, we did.
And so we were back to the trash heap.
Yeah.
And
we humble ourselves.
We had to humble ourselves hard.
Yeah.
And we watched a film called The Badge, The Bible. Technically, I guess you can. Because, see, here's the thing, right? And I'll get into the whatever in just a second. I believe for something to be considered feature length, it's got to be at least 60 minutes long.
God damn it.
So technically, this does count as a feature film.
That's upsetting.
Because it's like an hour 8 or something like that. Which is the one positive thing I will say about this movie. Is that it's only an hour.
Yes.
It may be the longest hour of your life.
Yeah.
But it is only an hour.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, The Badge, The Bible, and Bigfoot is a 2019 Christian action horror film directed by Ashley Hayes Wright with a script by Ashley Hayes Wright. If you're not watching this on YouTube, Grayson is already scratching their eyes. The film, The Badge, The Bible, and Bigfoot, stars the entire Wright family, including David and Ashley Wright, alongside their children, Cadence, Jaina, and Scout. Cadence, by the way, is that even a real name?
No.
Let's get into this early. It's a word.
It's definitely a word. It's like the speed at which you the like how you say something.
Yes.
The cadence of your whatever. That's not a name.
No, and boy, talking about cadence, there's some cadence in this movie.
Brother.
Not the person, but
No.
the act of speaking. Also, our on-air sign is not on.
Oh, shit. Tits. Fuck ass bitch.
Is it out of battery? Or is it just not on? I think I didn't turn it on.
Oh, lol. Technical difficulties, folks.
Watch out, everyone.
Yeah.
Shit.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, is it over here? No.
The button's on my side, but I've tried. Oh, hey, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Wait.
Okay. Don't panic, anyone. Now we're on air.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, yeah.
Oh boy.
We'll talk about how people talk in this movie, but
yeah,
it's not good. The film doesn't have a Rotten Tomatoes score. It doesn't have an audience score. It doesn't have a critical score. I'm shocked it had a page at all.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does have an IMDb.
It does.
And it has a 1.6. It has a 1.6.
Incredible. Now, here's something that shocked me to my very core. This film technically passes the Bechdel test.
What?
If you count children. So
I guess, yeah, that's true.
So in the film, which we should say, there's like 4 characters in this film. Well, there's 5, 6. There's 6 characters in this movie.
6 whole characters.
2 of them are played by the same person. So there's a sheriff, but then there's also the chief of police, and they are played by the same guy.
They're played by the same guy.
Yes.
That's why they never show his face.
Yes.
Oh
We'll talk about it. But 3 of the characters are this family's daughters, and they do technically talk about something other than a boy at some point. They do talk about a boy at one point, but
yes.
But yes. So if you're counting children, women as women, then technically this passes the Bechdel test
on a fucking technicality.
On a fucking technicality.
Oh God.
Now, finally, the plot synopsis from IMDb, and I'm just going to paraphrase. This is the longest plot synopsis from IMDb I've ever seen.
It doesn't make any sense why it's so long.
A synopsis is supposed to be like 2 sentences. This is like a paragraph. So, in a small coastal town, Bigfoot is sighted and children go missing. The town's, which, by the way, no apostrophe in towns, the town's police chief is fired, leaving only the sheriff. When the sheriff goes missing, the town's, no apostrophe, only hope is in Chief Harrison to battle the beast. He finds himself without weapons and must go hand to hand with Bigfoot. Will his strength in God and law enforcement training be enough to save the children and the town? You find out. Now, Grayson, before we really dive in here, what did you think of this movie?
I thought it was straight doo-doo. This movie was so god awful.
It's god awful.
It made Mexican American look good.
Yes. Oh my God, it does. Look, I tried all week. I was trying to think of like a coherent, like really precise way to describe my feelings about this movie, and this is what I came up with.
Yeah.
This fucking sucks.
Yep.
And
yeah,
it made me, when I was watching it, I felt like drafting a formal apology to every movie we've watched on here that I gave a bad review.
Same. Yep.
I'm sorry to fight, what is it?
Fight of
Fury. Oh my God. This movie makes that movie look so competent.
Yeah.
So very competent. Yep. I'm sorry to Mexican American.
Yep.
I was not familiar with your game. I'm sorry to Alan Quartermain.
Yep.
At least there was an actor in that movie who knew what he was doing.
I'm sorry. X versus Sever.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know how boring could be.
Yeah.
This is crazy bad.
This is so bad.
It's so like, I picked this because in the trailer, spoiler alert, there's a clip of the main character fist fighting Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is going to be a hell of a ride. And I tell you what, the last 10 minutes is exhilarating. But besides that, the rest of this movie is so awful. It's so awful. It's like,
it's really bad.
I was forcing myself to watch this. Like, literally, I put it off as long as I could.
Yeah.
And I was like quaking with fear and having to finish this movie.
5 minutes into this movie, I went, I'm not sober enough for this. And I grabbed my bottle of rum and a shot glass.
Yeah.
And I just started doing shots.
Oh my God.
Because I was like, I cannot.
It's so woeful. It's okay.
Every movie that I gave a 0, you now have a 1.
You now have a 1.
You now have a retroactively. Every movie that I ever gave a 0 or less than 1, you now have a 1.
Yeah. This again, I hated Alan Quartermain.
Yeah.
More than I've hated any movie I've ever seen in my life. It's not good in any respect. This made that movie look like fucking like Band of Brothers or something. Like this feels like you explained the concept of a movie to someone.
Yeah.
And they had never seen one before and went, I can do that.
It seems easy.
And then they just do it, and it's like oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's...
Yeah. Where did you watch this movie?
Tubi.
You watched it on Tubi? Okay.
I did watch it on Tubi.
See, I watched this on YouTube because it is on YouTube. And the thing is, so not to brag, but I have YouTube Premium,
okay.
right? So I don't get ads on YouTube. So occasionally we'll get one of these movies that's made by like a like an independent person.
Yeah.
And it'll be on Tubi or on YouTube, and I'll choose to watch it on YouTube because I'm like, I don't want to sit through ads. How did it look on Tubi?
Terrible.
Okay, because it looks terrible on YouTube.
It like I don't know what kind of camera they were using.
It's an iPhone. It's 100% an iPhone.
Yeah. It was like so like there's one part at the beginning where the camera just could not focus.
No.
It kept like doing this. And it made like the background almost look like just like a backdrop.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
It is horrible.
And then like all of the like anytime I don't know why they were so horny for this shit.
Oh my God.
But like they would like always like pan up to the sky.
Yeah.
But then like because like the camera is just some shitty fucking iPhone camera, you get all the fucking light into it, and so then it just like everything comes out of focus and it's like dark and you can't see shit.
Yes.
It was awful. I hated every minute of it.
Yes. So here's the thing. I wanted to say this up top because I feel like if you could level a criticism at us, it is that this could be perceived as punching down, right?
Yeah.
Because this is it's a family YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
And it is this family that they make these movies together. And when I first went into this, I had the thought of like, there is nothing inherently wrong with like, I'm hanging out with my kids and we're going to make movies and this is fun. It's a fun way to bond with your family, right?
Yeah.
But I just want to say, the more I dug into this film and the more I dug into this family, I have two things to say to preemptively defend myself. And I don't need to defend myself. No one's watching this anyway. But here, number one, if this were just a format for this family to hang out with their kids, the kids would be in it more.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Right.
The children are in like 4 scenes.
Yep.
And it's maybe 10 minutes of the entire film.
Yeah.
The rest of this movie is dedicated to making the dad look like the coolest man on earth. And he's not.
And
but
he's not. Yeah, no.
We'll get into that. But number 2, I feel that if you are making money off of something, you open yourself up to criticism, right?
Oh, 100%.
100%. I don't care if you're doing this for fun. I don't care if you're whatever. If you are putting yourself out there as a film, right?
Yep.
And part of the thing is, if you Google this family and you look at their like company, they're selling DVDs on like Christian movie websites, right? And to me, if you're selling DVDs, congratulations, you're touting yourself as a film.
Yes.
And you're opening yourself up to somebody like me poking holes in your crap. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm not a serious film critic, but at the same time, like, I'm not going to be kind in my criticism.
Right.
Because if you're going to tout yourself as a serious filmmaker, you're going to be criticized like one.
Yes.
And your movie sucks.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful.
Yeah. Yep.
And also, to jump ahead, which like you can't spoil this movie. It's just it is what you think it is. The movie itself is trying to critique people who watch
action
films and violent movies,
yeah,
while also making a violent film.
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
No. And so if you're gonna aim a gun at me, I'm gonna aim one right back at you.
Right. And it's just gonna be a game of who pulls the trigger first.
And I'll tell you what, it's gonna be me.
Yeah, that like the ending is like was so out of left field. I did not expect that whatsoever.
I did not either.
Because like after they fist fight Bigfoot, they're like sitting at home.
Yeah.
The dad has like this, I'm not even gonna call it a dream because it was like so poorly done.
Yeah.
But like has a dream of like Bigfoot coming back to life.
Right.
And then they have this whole conversation, the wife and him, about how he was using violent films as a way to cope with being a war veteran.
Right. Okay. Yes.
What?
Also, okay. Now, I feel like you can interpret it in one of two ways. Either the entire rest of the movie was a dream, right? So, like, that was my initial reaction. Was just like, okay, so they're pulling a, like, this whole thing was a dream, right?
Right, yeah.
Or it's like you said, it's just that one moment is a dream, right? They don't give you any indication of which is which. And then the movie ends with a 5-minute montage of him just hanging out with his family. It's like, but like, okay. Anyway, okay. So I want to read you. So, okay. So like I said, so this is... Well, okay, before we do that, actually, sorry, I'm completely thrown by the sheer incompetence of this entire production. So before we get into the rest of this, would you recommend somebody? No. Okay, me neither. Not even as a joke.
Yeah, not like genuinely. Do not watch this.
Don't. If you're gonna watch anything, just look and see if somebody has cut out the fist fight with Bigfoot, because that is genuinely entertaining. But the rest of the movie is nothing. It's boring. It's preachy. It's horrible.
Yeah. And we'll get into the preachy thing because that pisses me off.
Yeah.
But continue.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not recommend this.
No, not even to my worst enemy.
Yeah, like this is horrible. This should be classified like this should be classified as like torture under the Geneva Convention.
Yes.
Like, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's like waterboarding Wright family films. You know, it's like, it's just...
They're right, you know.
They're very close together.
Honest to God, I might take waterboarding.
I might, because at least, you know, there's an end in sight. I could drown being waterboarded.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's no escape from this movie. No. Okay. So, the Wright family.
Yes.
Okay. So you got David and Ashley Wright, and Ashley, who does double duty as the director, and also she stars in this movie.
Yeah.
She directs all of their films. Excuse me. And David, more or less,
seems like he doesn't want to be there.
Well, he seems like he doesn't want to be there, but he also plays lead in pretty much every movie they've made. And then they have their kids, so Cadence, Jaina, and Scout. I have no idea which one is which. I think two of them are twins.
So okay, when we see the kids for the first time,
yeah,
honest to God, I thought they had CGI'd the same kid 3 times.
They all look very similar.
I was looking, I was like, that's just the same kid, and they just copy and pasted it twice.
It does look like that, but I think the two younger ones or the two older ones are twins. Okay. I think. I wasn't looking at it that hard, so I can't, whatever. Anyway, so they have a YouTube channel. It's called Wright Family Films. They also, it seems like they distribute to like Tubi, right?
Yeah.
And then they also will, like where I watched it, it was on something called like Inspire Films or whatever.
Sure.
So I think they also will like loan out to like these like Christian movie like YouTube channels, which there seems to be a pretty like big market for. So good on them, I guess.
Sure.
They live in Maine, as which like because this whole movie looks like Maine.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, it's either Northwest or Northeast. I think they're trying to make it look like the Northwest, but it's clearly Maine.
Yeah.
They live on a farm. And so the kids are homeschooled. And let me just read. So, okay. This, let me read you the description. I copied and pasted this in.
Yeah.
This is the description for their YouTube channel. This is the longest YouTube channel description I've ever seen in my life. So it says, and I'm quoting this verbatim.
Yeah.
Wright Family Films, LLC, is delivering new creative content to the world. We are on a mission to provide cleaner entertainment options for all ages. We provide movies of all genres to families that want to enjoy a movie together and to individuals that need a new release. Here you can count on a smile or tear, modest attire, no foul language, and no extreme gore. Paragraph break. Through stress, pain, heartbreak, or happy times, film is what many people use to get through these times in our lives. They've been using the word times a lot. Yeah. Our unique family company will not only entertain you with a fun film, but will touch your heart in a meaningful film. We encourage everyone to follow your dream and that nothing is impossible. Our family started with a nothing but a dream and spending fun quality time together. We focus on family and making others smile, not the money. Our first royalty check was 11 cents. We work hard to give the world a cleaner movie option, even though that means giving up a larger return. What do you think about that?
Shut up.
Just shut up.
Just shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a fuck.
Fuck up. Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Oh my
Genuinely.
God.
Like, Jesus. Like, if you're going, like, I'm all for creative expression, creative freedom, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're going to be creative, take a fucking film class.
Yes.
Learn how to do this, because also get a better camera. Get some better mics.
Yes.
And get like an actual cast that's not your fucking family.
God.
Because so I didn't know that Ashley and whatever the fuck his name is, David were like husband and wife. I didn't know they were together. I thought genuinely they were like siblings.
Oh.
So when they kissed, I was like, ugh!
Yeah.
It was upsetting.
That's an appropriate reaction.
Because I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, Lord.
And it was genuinely upsetting. It's still kind of upsetting, but not as much now that I know that they are married.
Yes. So one thing with this movie, the dialogue,
terrible.
It's not just terrible. It feels like it was written by an alien.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a lot of like, was that your stomach?
That was my stomach.
Oh my God, this production is a mess today. So it often, oh my God, what is going on with your stomach?
I don't know.
Are you starving?
A little.
Oh, okay, we'll get you some pizza.
That's fine. I got pizza.
Oh, okay. Yes, it feels like, so somebody will like say something. They'll be like, man, I sure wish we had a whatever to do. And then somebody will like say something in response, but it feels like not related at all to what the other person just said.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, they'll say like, well, what are we going to do? And the other guy will just be like, I found my shotgun in the woods. It's like, okay.
Are you going to respond?
Yeah, no. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think the worst that sticks out in my mind was like kind of towards the end when they were like hunting Bigfoot. and like it had been like just Harrison.
I like that you remembered his character's name.
Yeah. He had been like on his own, but then all of a sudden the mayor shows up. Also, she's the mayor.
Yeah, she's the mayor for some reason.
Yeah. And he like says like, you can't come because I can't be like taking care of you too. And he says that twice.
Yes. Yeah.
Like they say the same thing twice.
Yeah, they repeat a lot of lines.
Which is like, brother.
Yeah.
Why?
Also, okay, I remembered something I was going to say too. We mentioned how the only real other character is the sheriff, right?
Yeah.
And it's very clearly David Wright,
Yeah.
just wearing a different suit, and he has like a pillow stuffed in his shirt to make himself look tubby.
Yeah.
And then he has like a funny little voice that he does.
Yeah.
And you never see his face. Like every time that character's on screen, it's just like the lower half of him, and then it just
just like this section of his stomach.
just his stomach or just his gun. One time it's just his hat.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts back to David talking to no one.
Yeah.
So there's that. But like when we watched like Fight of Fury, right? There were so many extras in that movie, right?
Yeah.
And I think part of that is, and this is not, I mean, this is a little mean to say. You can tell with Fight of Fury that people like Shoney B.
Yes.
Right? That he's a friendly guy.
Yep.
He's he's a goofball and he's
Yeah.
eccentric, but like obviously people like him because they
Yeah.
were all willing to act in his movie.
Yes.
I get the sense the Wrights don't have a lot of friends
Yeah.
or don't have other family members who are willing to participate because why the fuck is it just the 5 of them? Like, it's just, like even in these ultra low budget movies, you can usually rope like
at least 2 other people.
like 2
into
other
this.
people, like a
Yeah.
friend or your mom,
yeah.
or like a guy at the store. You'd be like, "Hey, we're shooting a movie. Can I give you $5 to be on screen?" And they're
Yeah.
usually like, "Okay."
Sure.
Like, but the fact that there's no one else speaks to me that this is a weird group of people.
Yeah.
And it's like uncomfortable almost. Like there's a scene right at the start, right? Where we meet Harrison and he like meets the mayor on the pier for some reason.
They're always meeting on
They're
the
always
docks.
meeting, yeah, just like random places. And so he's like, "Let's go grab a cup of coffee." And she's like, "Okay." And then it cuts to them in the cafe, but like there's no footage of them actually speaking to each other.
Yeah.
It's all just shots of the coffee cups and shots of them, like the sides of their faces.
Yeah.
Which tells me that they either were too afraid to ask to film there or they weren't allowed to. And so they're just like, just shooting some B-roll and then dubbing over it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's levels of incompetence that I was not aware were possible. It's like,
Yeah.
and I cannot overstate how boring most of this movie is.
Oh my God.
It is incongruous and strange, and the dialogue makes no sense, but the vast majority of it is very slow, like badly done pan-overs of landscape cut together with B-roll
Yeah.
that is clearly B-roll from a stock footage website because it's shot on a different camera and looks better than the rest of the movie.
Yep. I think the worst scene was the like city meeting.
Yes. Oh my God.
That because there's a meeting and this would never happen.
Yeah.
Because the city doesn't have this power. They were meeting about what they were going to do about the police budget.
Yeah.
And they said, "We're just abolishing the police department. And we're taking all that money and putting it in the fire department."
Yeah.
Because we've been having a lot of fires in the winter.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
But first of all, the city would never do that because they don't have that power. That's the state's power.
Yes.
Also, it's extremely like what's the word? It doesn't make any sense either because America loves the police.
Yes.
And so if anything, they would cut the fire department.
Right. That's what yes. Like especially like if you're in a small coastal town like that.
Right.
There's no way that they are cutting the police budget.
God, no.
Like if you're in a town that's big enough to have a police force, and not just state cops or whatever, there's no way. Never in a million years. They might be like, we're gonna cut your slash your budget, but it's never gonna be cut altogether,
right?
And it's implied he's the only cop, so like, they can't possibly be paying him that much,
right? Like if your entire police department is one motherfucker.
One man.
How much money is the fire department actually getting?
Yeah. How many firemen do you have?
Like at most, they'd be getting like, I don't know, $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Oh, whoop-de-doo.
Right.
Great. That like barely gets you a truck.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, like if this is in a small town, right? Like a small kind of county. Whatever. Like we have a lot of those all over New Mexico.
Yeah.
Chances are you don't have a full-time fire department anyway.
Right.
You probably have a volunteer fire department.
Yes.
Or you're relying on like the park rangers and the state department to provide forest fire protection or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they're gonna like. It's a funny world that they think we live in, where they're like, well, we have one cop. But we got 20 firefighters.
Yeah, so we gotta cut that guy.
We gotta cut him.
We gotta get rid of the entire police department because it's really cutting into our fire department budget.
And we'll just have the singular county sheriff take care of this city
everything.
Possibly thousands of people.
Yeah, and the reason that this scene was so awful, aside from the like horribly inaccurate everything about it, is that it is a static shot of about this much of Harrison with a disembodied voice of, I think, maybe the mayor.
Yeah.
Dubbed over with audience chatter.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's it. And it's like, while that scene was happening, I was looking at Harrison's eyes. I'm fairly certain he was just reading off a script.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And so it was really bad.
Yes. And also, so one thing I want to say, and again, this is slanderous. I can tell you pretty much for certain that David Wright in real life is not a cop.
Oh, God, no.
And I guarantee that he has never been in the military.
Yeah.
Because he does not act like somebody who's been in the military. He is 1,000%, and this is a term I just thought of, he's a cops player, right?
Yeah.
He just loves the police.
Yep.
He's like a big, obviously this is like right-wing leaning.
100%.
This whole film. And he just, I think he desperately wants to be a cop, but like, either he's never like actually tried, or he's not capable of being an actual police officer.
Yeah.
So there's just this like constant glazing of cops in this movie.
Yeah.
Played by a man who is maybe the most incompetent cop ever put to screen.
Yeah.
Like, and also it is odd that like, they're like, we're cutting the police, but like, and I shouldn't be critiquing the plot of this film because it's about
the plot.
The plot, because it's about as incoherent as you could get. They cut the funding to the police, and they're like, "You're done. Give me your badge and gun, and give me the cop car or whatever."
The one cop
car. But then every time the sheriff has a problem, he's calling the cop,
right?
The police chief or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, if you're the only cop, are you still technically the police chief? Or are you just the one cop?
I don't know. Yeah, it's so...
Also, okay, so again, I shouldn't critique the, like, nitty-gritty of the actual plot, but, like, so a lot of the movie is intercut with, like, either David or Ashley, like, listening to some sort of news report about Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah.
Right? While they, like, sit glumly in a cafe or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, so there's that going on, but then the girls get kidnapped, right?
Yeah.
And immediately, everyone's just like, I think it was Bigfoot.
Yeah.
They're like, it must have been Bigfoot.
It has to be.
It couldn't have possibly been a kidnapping or a family member or a human trafficker.
Yeah.
It was Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And their first course of action is to go looking for Bigfoot. Yeah. It's just like, they don't do anything else.
Nope.
The sheriff is like, well, they're not here. Oh, the Bigfoot attacked me.
And I'm dead now.
And I'm dead. Yeah, and just gone.
Yeah.
And so Harrison is like, well, I guess I gotta go get Bigfoot. And then halfway through looking for Bigfoot, he's like, well, I guess I don't really believe in Bigfoot, but it's something. And I'm like, how do you, at this, like, the first thing you do while looking for Bigfoot is fire your shotgun aimlessly into the woods, presumably because you just saw Bigfoot. And now you're saying you don't believe in Bigfoot, but you're still looking for him?
Yeah.
It doesn't make a fucking...
It doesn't, yeah. And...
Also, there's a lot of, like, repetition.
Yeah.
In terms of scenes.
Yes.
That makes it feel disjointed. Like,
yeah.
There's a scene where the mayor is like, I'm gonna go, if the sheriff is too incompetent, I'm gonna go look for the kids, right?
Yeah.
And so she's in the woods.
Yeah.
And she's like saying like, please God, protect the kids, like bring the kids back, whatever.
Yeah.
She then leaves the woods and goes to her car.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, it's being intercut with Harrison at a gun store. And he's like buying a shotgun or whatever. And there's like very generic like military drum music playing.
Yep.
And then Ashley gets back in her car and she like calls Harrison and he's like, I'm gonna go looking for the kids or whatever. And then he goes to the woods, but then she goes back to the woods.
Yeah.
She was just in the woods. She leaves the woods and then comes back.
You could have just stayed there.
Just stay in the woods. And she doesn't look any different. She like puts a jacket on, but it's the same one she was wearing earlier.
Yep.
What was she doing? She's just like, I'm just going to go for a ride and then I'll come back. And then she sneaks up on a man with a loaded shotgun. And he rightfully is like,
I could have blown
your face off. Then he gives her the shotgun.
Which, right, that pissed me off. Because he was like, yeah, you can't fight. I don't want to have to look after you and all this stuff. And then he's like, anyway, here you go.
Here you go. Here's a shotgun. And then she leaves it because she's like, I have to pee.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, because this is supposed to be like a clean film, right? She constantly goes, I have to use the bathroom, which is just like, it makes you sound like a robot, right? Like, excuse me, I have to use the bathroom. And he's like, hunters don't use bathroom, just hold it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't hold it. Ha ha. And then she goes off to pee, right?
Yeah.
Leaves the shotgun behind.
Yeah.
She then walks back to him. And it's like 10 minutes later, presumably, of them walking through the woods.
And then he goes, hey, where's the shotgun, by the way?
And she's like, oh, fuck, I left it behind. And he's not like, well, let's go back and get it. Because that presumably cost me hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. And also, his comment on hunters not using the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yes, the fact they do. They, like, literally, if you talk to any hunter ever.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, one of the like the biggest things I always take with me is toilet paper and a goddamn shovel.
Right.
Because I'm going to be shitting in the woods, brother.
But then also, right, and this is, again, goes back to the hypocrisy thing. This is supposed to be about, like, oh, this movie's clean and fun for the whole family or whatever, right? Well, when she comes back, he's like, what'd you use for toilet paper?
Yeah. Oh, and then later, he's like, I got to use the bathroom. And she's like, oh, I thought hunters don't use.
And he's like, I'm not a hunter, I'm a cop.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, this is so awful.
It's so bad. Oh, and then I don't even think that gun was loaded.
No.
Also, when he's playing the sheriff,
yeah,
he keeps taking his gun in and out of the holster.
He does! Like 3 times.
Like, he has it out.
Yeah.
And then next shot, it's holstered, and he's got his hand on it. And the next shot, it's holstered, and he doesn't even have his hand on it.
Yeah.
Next shot, it's in his hand.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Either have it out or don't.
No, I don't know how they cut this movie together. Like,
I don't know.
She's just like, oh, there's that shot. Oh, there's that. Oh, he already did. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah.
Just put it together. God will guide me to editing this fucking trash.
Yeah.
So then, okay. Also, like, well, here's the thing, right? About this movie. If you're going to shoot a low budget film, right? This is a little advice for everybody out there. If you don't have enough plot to cover an entire hour, just don't make your movie an hour long. Or
make it 30 minutes.
Make this movie 5 minutes.
There you go.
There's 5 minutes of story here, right? You don't need all the like, oh, I'm a cop, but I'm not a cop anymore. But there's a sheriff. The sheriff's dead. I'm back. I'm staring out at the pier.
Yeah.
We're going to have a meeting. Oh, meeting's over. We're going to go have another meeting. Hey, how you doing? We're having a meeting. You know? Like, that's 90% of this movie. It's just them meeting at the dock and him being like, hey, are you cutting funding? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, ah, damn.
Anyway, coffee?
And then they go get coffee and then they come back. Hey, you cutting funding? Yep, still cutting funding. All right. See you later. Also, I loved the scene. It's very funny where she goes to his farm and he's chopping wood.
Oh my god!
But he's like very clearly not actually. He's like going like this, like with a wedge.
Yeah.
And then he says something to her, and she's like, "Well, somebody's got to go look for those little girls." And then it cuts to her
chopping wood
in a completely different outfit.
Yeah.
Like just
with one glove
in a completely new shot. I feel like we're in a different place. And then she chops the wood and just looks at him and then walks away. But in the previous shot, he's holding the axe and the wood. Like, so there's a lot that happened in between those two shots that we never get to see.
Oh my god.
Did she bring her own wood and axe?
BYOA.
BYOA, bring her own axe. Also, it should not be overstated. The two lead actors in this are atrocious.
They're really
They're bad actors. The kids are more competent than they are.
Yeah.
Which is really difficult to do in a movie, is like have your child actors be more competent than your adult actors. But they're not selling anything.
No.
Like everything is flat. Everything is like makes no sense, is not delivered with any panache at all.
Yeah.
The dog is trying to climb out of my arms.
There's no emotion.
No.
It's like you said, it's all flat. Like there's nothing.
No.
Based off of your YouTube description, I should at least feel something. You know what I feel? Hatred,
sadness, boredom.
Yeah.
Just despair.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He's snorfing.
Oh no. Oh, there goes the camera. Come here. Yes.
And then the fight.
Oh my god. It's wonderful.
He punches trees.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Not only does Harrison punch trees, but Bigfoot punches trees.
They're not punching each other a lot.
No, they're punching trees. Also, that kick that the mayor does.
Oh my god, it's fantastic.
It's horrible.
It's horrible, but it's very funny. She does
funny.
like a pole spin.
Yeah.
Like she does like a flying kick off of like a tree stump.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And you see Bigfoot like, catch the kick. Oh my god, it's so good. There's a very funny moment where he's like got his dukes up, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to punch and Bigfoot like catches the punch.
It's so bad. It is so bad.
And he levels up with God, which is fucking amazing. He before he's about to go fist fight Bigfoot, he's like, "Please God, give me the power to fight Bigfoot," or whatever. And then he like levels up. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
The whole movie should have been that.
Yeah. Yes. Also, who do you think was in the Bigfoot costume?
Him. He's in the Bigfoot costume.
Well, but like, what about the scenes where like we see Bigfoot punch him?
I think
is the mayor.
I think the lady has just like the arm on and is whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the static shots where the camera's moving, I feel like it's just set up, like it's on something.
Yeah.
Because there's scenes where he's punching it and it looks like wood is flying off.
Yeah.
So to me, that tells me that they just put it on a tree and like they're like, all right, just go nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like,
oh God. What do you think of his like little story of where he saved the kids?
Oh my God. Like
it doesn't make any sense.
It does, not only does it not make sense, it's the most egregious like preaching right-wing Blue Lives Matter bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
And it's just him standing there like this, just telling the
Menacingly.
story. Yeah. And he's like, well, I was a cop on the force, and there was a situation where... and it's like every line has like a beat in between.
Yeah.
And he's like, there was a school shooter. There were actually 2 active shooters, and I was waiting for my squad, but they weren't going to be there on time, so I had to go in.
Which doesn't make sense.
And I blessed the Lord because I was wearing my vest that day.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, your standard issue tack vest that you're supposed to wear under your clothes at all times?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
That...
Crazy.
Insane.
That God did that for you.
Idiot.
It's like, normally I don't like to wear it because it makes me look a little tubby.
Nice. Got him.
Good, got him. Oh my god.
And then he bluffed one of the shooters.
Yeah.
Because he used up all of his ammo.
Yeah.
Like a dumbass.
Yeah. You know what I do like about this movie? It breaks every rule.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 180-degree rule? Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You don't need to be oriented in this movie. Just
Nope.
confuse me. Show, don't tell? Who cares?
Whatever.
Fuck that rule. Tell and don't show.
Yeah.
Don't show anything. Just tell me what I'm supposed to be looking at. Let me use my imagination.
Yeah.
I'd love to see this weird school shooter crackdown Die Hard scene, but don't show me.
Yeah,
Just
don't-
tell me about it.
Yeah. Just have a whole 5 minutes of you telling the story.
Telling it poorly.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't compelled, even though this is supposed to be an exciting story. And
Yeah.
at the end of it, she's like, wow.
Wow. And then they kiss. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's shut
Okay.
up, gross.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yucky.
Also, just in case you didn't know he was in the military, he tells you about 100 times.
Yep.
But he's also wearing a hat the
Yep.
whole time.
It says
82nd Airborne Division.
Yep. I'm pretty sure he just got that at the fucking
100%. He just went to, like the state capitol or
or
whatever.
Savers or some
Or
shit.
Savers, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a piece of trivia for you.
Oh boy. There's trivia about this movie?
There's one piece of trivia.
Oh boy.
This is a piece of trivia very clearly written by David Owen Wright.
Yep.
And it reads, David Owen Wright joins John Wayne and Gary Cooper as actors portraying soldiers who were part of the 82nd Airborne Division. Wright's character, Harrison, is the chief of police in the film, but his hat implies he was stationed at Fort Bragg before becoming an officer of the law. You know the hat implies.
Oh, and it implies because we couldn't fucking read it.
I think that
Damn, I wonder what that means. 82nd Airborne.
So
Shut up.
I just want to say, as somebody who has family who was in the military, right? My dad was a Marine. My brother was in the Navy. Both grandfathers fought in the Army. My grandfather on my mother's side was in World War II. Grandfather on my father's side was in the Korean War. Nothing bugs me more than military cosplayers, right? These guys who like either were too afraid to join the military or just didn't, but they were like those hoorah, like I respect the military. We should blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No one on earth bugs me more than those people because it's like you're trying to take all the like prestige and valor of that specific thing and like without doing any of the actual like sacrifice that goes with it.
Yeah.
Right? And like nothing bugs me more than these people who like treat it as this like thing and oh my God, I wish I was in the military and blah blah blah, cuz it's like you weren't even like whatever enough to sign up to do it.
Yeah.
You're just sitting on the sidelines on your fat ass just being like you know, I wish I was in the military.
Yeah.
It's like, well, go do it then.
Sign up. It's
Sign
free.
up. But you won't.
Yeah. I have none of my parents were in the military, but both of my parents' parents were.
Yeah.
I think my mom's dad was in the Army or something, and then my dad's dad was in the Navy.
Yeah.
And then I have a great uncle who flew one of the big B-2 or B-52 bombers in World War II. We actually have a book with a picture of him in
cool.
it. It's really with him, and it's like his whole flight squad and his plane is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also hate those people that like never served a day in their life, but they think they're hot shit and they like do all the whatever. Like it's the same people that like did like ROTC in high school.
Oh my God, yeah.
But then like never like furthered that.
Yeah.
Whatever. And so I'm just like, dude, shut up.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
Those like respect the military guys are also the same ones that often vote for the, you know, lawmakers that want to cut funding to the VA. So
yeah.
Good job, everybody.
Let's just
Let's leave those vets who have mental illness on the street. That's cool. Too real. But like that's the thing about this movie, right? That like the politics of it are inextricably linked to it.
Yes.
Right? And you can't discuss this movie without discussing the like preachiness of it, because it's so obviously a Christian film.
Yeah.
But like the entire purpose of the movie is to like scold you, which like I despise on a fundamental level. And it's like, but it also feels like they don't have anything specific to preach, right?
Right.
They're just preaching like,
don't watch violent movies.
don't watch violent movies while making
a violent
movie, right? And you can't say this movie isn't violent because a man fist fights Bigfoot. So like,
every time we say it,
yeah,
I like the credibility of this movie goes down.
but it's not even like if a movie was called Bigfoot Fighter and it was like a guy who just boxes Bigfoot, I'd love that movie. That's way up my alley.
Yeah.
This is nothing. It's just boring.
Also, they like did one of the biggest like things that you should not do is like in terms of like breaking rules.
Yeah.
Because they like they've created this world which we're assuming is the real world we live in, where Bigfoot doesn't exist as far as we know.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden Bigfoot does exist.
Yes.
So which is it? Does Bigfoot exist and it's a known thing and there have been like legit sightings and there's like actual documentation?
Right.
Or does he not exist and there's just weird skeptics and theorists that think he exists and have sightings?
Right.
Like you got to pick one.
Yeah.
So that we know the rules of your world.
Right.
But you didn't do that.
No. And also it's like, you know, because there's a whole bit where they like are taking a break and she's like, well, you know, God gave us dominion over all of God's creatures, except for, and if this is one of God's creatures, then he was meant to be here, but also we're allowed in charge of the animals and all this other, and it's like you don't have to like explain Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Like
also, is Bigfoot an animal now?
Yeah.
Or is he like
a man?
Yeah. What is he? You're breaking all of these rules.
Yeah.
Because if we're going off of the accepted definition of a Bigfoot, he's not an animal.
Yeah.
Which means your God, whatever.
Yeah.
That thing that says, you know, we are in charge of all the animals, well, that doesn't apply here anymore.
Right.
He's a man. We have to treat him equal.
Yeah.
So, like, you're breaking so many rules.
It does. Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, it's just a terrible movie.
It's so bad.
It's really bad, and it's like, and again, like if this was a student film, right?
Yeah.
If this was like made by like a college student, and you took all the preachiness out of it, and it was just like a whatever, I would not talk about it on the show because people should be allowed to make shitty things.
Yes.
Without the entire internet piling on them and making them feel bad and like, you know, you should be allowed to grow as an artist.
Yes.
But if you're going to put yourself out there as a professional film company and you're making clean, good entertainment for the whole family, well, okay, you know, now we're talking.
It's free game.
Yeah, it's free game. So, yeah, your movie sucks.
Yeah.
I looked at their more, because this was made in 2019. I looked at their more recent output. I'll say this: they bought a camera.
Whoa!
Good for them. They're shooting on an actual camera now. The cinematography is still abhorrent, but like, at least they're shooting on a camera, and it doesn't look like it was shot on a donkey's asshole. Like,
yeah.
So like, I'll say that for them. But the quality has not like dramatically increased or anything like that. And I saw a trailer for one of their other movies. There was like a different guy in it. So I'm like, holy shit, they found another guy to help them with their movies. That's crazy. Yeah, this is bad. It's not fun bad.
No.
It's not cool bad.
It's just bad.
It's not so bad it's good. It's just bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad. It's boring.
It's horrible.
It feels like most of it is stock footage.
Yeah.
There is one really funny moment that I think was accidental. So there's the town meeting that you were talking about, and they're talking about like they're cutting funding,
Yeah.
to the police for the fire department, and then clearly they were trying to do like a transitionary shot, and there's a cut in of some B-roll.
Yeah.
But like midway through the B-roll, like a fire truck rolls by.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think that was intentional.
No.
But that's very funny.
It's
To be like really put the boot into this dude that like in the middle of this nice town, there's just this giant shiny fire truck rolling by.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That was good stuff. Also, there's a lot of royalty-free Christian music in this, which is very bad.
Oh my god.
It's very bad.
Oh, the very first one was like, I don't know, something about Jesus and you need to let him come in you or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let Jesus come into your heart.
Yeah.
Let him come in your butt. It's really bad.
Yeah.
And it's the first 5 minutes
Oh my god.
is stock footage. It is literally like a shot of a lake, a shot of some plants, a shot of a tree, a shot of a building, another building, a third building, a fourth building.
Yeah.
It's a shot of a man walking on the pier. Now he's over here. Yeah. Now he's back here. Now he's having a meeting.
Yeah.
Now they're drinking coffee. Now he's back on the pier. Like, that's most of this movie.
That's it. Also, the font and color that they used for at the very beginning for the names.
Oh yeah.
Horrible.
It's horrible, yeah.
It's like some of it just like blended in to the fucking shots.
Yeah.
And you couldn't read it.
I think this was made on Windows Movie Maker.
It had to have been.
I'm not 100% certain, but it has that feeling,
that
vibe. Yeah. Don't give these people your money.
No.
For God's sake.
Please don't.
Even if you're into Christian films, there are more competently made ones than this. This is like the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
This is like the bottom of every barrel.
Yeah.
Like you clean out a barrel and there it is at the bottom. And it's rotting and fetid and just terrible.
Yeah. It's really, really bad.
It's really bad. I can't even overstate how just unpleasant it is. Yeah, not good. Not good. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about this movie?
Burn it with fire.
Yeah, really, truly.
Throw it away.
I will say they have a Bigfoot follow-up film.
Oh.
Which again, that like really kind of undercuts the message of your movie.
Right.
Which is that like you shouldn't be watching these violent movies because you made another one. You made a second Bigfoot movie. And it's called like Curse of the Bigfoot or something like that.
Great.
So yeah, there's that for you. All right, Grayson. What would you give this movie out of 10?
I think this is the one and only 0 that I think we're ever gonna get.
Yes.
This is a 0.
This is a 0. I'm giving it a 0. I normally don't give things 0 because I feel like there's at least one redeeming thing.
Nope.
But I feel like everything good in this movie was not on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 0. It's nothing. There's nothing here.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's not funny.
Nope.
It's not entertaining. It's only an hour and yet it's somehow still too long.
Yeah.
The spin kick is very funny, but besides that...
I know. I was watching it and my roommate was organizing comics while it was on. And like 45 minutes into it, she was like, how much longer is left in this movie? And we checked and it was fit. And she was like, how is there still anything left of this movie?
I don't know. Yeah. Also, you get to the end, right? And they've defeated Bigfoot. And I was like, oh, okay. We're almost done. So I did the same thing. I looked and I'm like, how is there still 10 minutes? It's because I didn't know a sermon was coming at the end.
I know.
Fucking hell.
Reached at. Fuck.
And this is, I want to be clear too. This is not satire. Like I went in thinking there's a slight chance, right, that this is something being done on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Because occasionally you encounter something like that, like the Velocipaster.
Yes.
Right? Which is like an intentionally bad film.
Yes.
Right? It's made to ape that kind of film. This is not that. This is just bad. They don't know that it's bad.
Right. They were trying to be serious.
They were trying so hard to be serious. Hi. Hi. What can I do for you? Okay. Anyway, yes. Don't watch this movie.
Don't do it.
0 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
It's my first one.
Yeah.
It's Let's purge it from our brains forever.
Please.
Okay. Well, Grayson.
Yep.
Let me see how long we've been going. Oh, we're over an hour. We're about the length of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, listen to this instead of watching that movie.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Okay. Let's move on to everybody's favorite section of the show. It's a little section called Editor's Picks.
Nailed it.
What do you got?
I'm going to do a video game.
Okay.
Balatro.
Oh, very good.
That I don't know how they managed to do it, but they put crack in that game.
Okay.
I like genuinely I'm addicted to that shit. I know a few
people that are addicted to Balatro.
It is so good. The UI is like incredible.
Okay.
UI is incredible. Gameplay is awesome. The replayability is so good.
Yeah.
The sound design makes me horny.
Oh, okay.
It's so good.
Okay.
It's so good. Balatro. B-A-L-O-T. No, B-A-L-A-T-R-O.
Okay.
I believe.
Balatro.
Yeah. You can find it on the App Store for like $10. I think it's also on Steam.
It is on Steam.
Yeah. So play it.
Balatro.
If you got a spare $10, play it.
Ruin your life. Play Balatro.
Like genuinely, I've like almost been late to work 3 different times because I was playing that godforsaken game.
Good.
It's so good.
Hell yeah.
Balatro.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yes. Movies. TV shows. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I had something and I lost it.
Oh no.
Oh fuck.
Ah, tits.
Let me think. I feel like I watched something on Tubi recently. I can't think of it. Instead, I'm going to recommend a movie that I didn't watch it recently, but I've been thinking about it recently. It's a movie called Beastmaster. It's from the 80s. It's in the vein of something like Conan the Barbarian.
Okay.
So it's that like sword and sorcery kind of genre, but it's very strange. I love a strange movie.
Yeah.
There's like weird, like leathery Batmen, and there's a guy who's like, he's born with powers because a witch transferred him out of his mom's womb when he was about to be born.
Whoa.
It's crazy. It's a crazy movie. It's good. It's a good time. Yeah. Beastmaster. Everybody go watch Beastmaster. That's a weird fucking movie. It's a good time.
Hell yeah.
And if you want something even weirder, go watch Conquest by Lucio Fulci. That's a crazy movie too. Yes. Yeah, Beastmaster.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, Grayson, that brings us to the end of the show.
Yep.
If you liked this episode, feel free to follow us, like us, subscribe. You can leave us a nice review right in your podcasting app of choice. Leave us 5 stars. It helps out the show, puts us in the rankings.
Yup.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Leave us a review, yeah. 5 stars. I'm sorry, Germany. Or wherever that accent was supposed to be. Yes. 5 stars really helps out the show.
Yup.
Comment on YouTube. Tell us what you're doing.
Yep.
Tell us what you're up to. Reference a joke that I don't remember making.
Yeah.
And confuse me. Somebody did that recently, and I was like, I don't remember what I was saying here, but okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yes. Share the video.
Yep. Interact with the algorithms of all of the things.
Yeah, it does help. It helps boost it. Even just hitting like helps us out. If you really want to help us out, you can donate to us on ko-fi.com/Viva La Action. Ko-fi, whatever. Still haven't figured out how to say it. There's a link for that in the description. You can send us as little as $1.
Yep.
We'd really appreciate it. It's not going anywhere but back to us.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Yep. We'll probably actually buy coffee with it.
We probably would. Yeah, genuinely.
Yeah.
Yes. Things I'm forgetting. Send us an email.
Yep.
vivalaaction@gmail.com.
Oh, and the Google form.
Google form down below where you can suggest a film. You can find us on Instagram @Viva La Action. We're still on Facebook, but I don't really post there. Yes.
Yeah.
All that.
Very good.
I'm not on Blue Sky.
Nope.
I'm not on
TikTok.
Vero. I don't even know if that's still around. Google Plus. Not on there anymore. Remember Google Plus? That was a saga.
Yeah.
Remember when they just ruined YouTube for a little bit?
Yeah.
And then it just came back?
Yeah.
Anyway. Thank you all so much for listening. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.